This is not fog. This is not seasonal weather. This is not something we just endure because it's winter in North India. This is poison. Invisible, relentless poison that seeps into our lungs with every breath we take. Just last month, on December 17th, an international match between India and South Africa was cancelled without a single ball being bowled. Not because of rain, not because of pitch issue, or not because of politics or protest, but because of excessive fog. But let's be honest, that wasn't a natural fog. It was a toxic blanket of smoke so dense that visibility dropped to near zero. Players couldn't see the ball, umpires couldn't assess the conditions, and the air itself became too dangerous to breathe for extended periods. In a country where cricket is religion, the air forced it to stop. Flights are delayed, schools are shut, and hospitals are filling up. This is no longer an environmental problem. This is a daily survival problem. And the most terrifying statistic, according to latest Lancet countdown on health and climate change, around 1.72 millions died prematurely due to air pollution in 2022 alone, up 38% since 2010. That's more than 4,700 lives every single day. It's not confined to Delhi anymore. Lucknow, Patna, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and many more. Even parts of Northeast and hill stations that once promised clean air are now recording dangerous spikes on bad days. To make the matter worse, there are persistent reports of authorities spraying water near pollution monitoring stations. Not to genuinely clean the air, but to temporarily suppress readings and improve optics for official reports. We fix numbers on papers while the lungs keep suffering. We celebrate GDP milestones, we cheer becoming 4 trillion economy on track to become 5 trillion economy. We dream of global superpower status, but ask yourself this uncomfortable question. What is the value of that growth if the air we breathe is systemically weakening our bodies and shortening our lives? This video isn't about pointing fingers at one party or leader. It's about confronting a truth we have normalized for too long. Let's move beyond the headlines and look what pollution is really doing to us as a nation. The Lancet Countdown report, drawing from global health data, attributes 1.72 million premature deaths annually in India due to air pollution, primarily from fine particulate matter linked to fossil fuels, industry, vehicles, and crop burning. That's over 4,700 families grieving every single day, not from one event but from cumulative exposure. Children bear the heaviest, most irreversible burden. Their lungs develop rapidly, they breathe faster and take in more pollutants per body weight. Studies show chronic exposure leads to dramatically higher rates of childhood asthma, permanently reduced lung function and capacity. To make matters worse, it also shortens life expectancy for children. Millions of Indian children are growing up breathing air that international health bodies classify as hazardous. This is the stealing of potential human capital from the entire generation. Now zoom out to the economy. Pollution isn't just a health tragedy, it's making our economy bleed badly. The same Lancet report monetizes the premature deaths and illness at close to 339 billion annually, equivalent to roughly 9.5% of our GDP. Other estimates range from 5 to 9%, but the consensus is clear. Air pollution wipes out a massive chunk of our economic output every single year through loss of workers' productivity, skyrocketing healthcare costs, and premature deaths are removing experienced workers from the economy. If we leave economy aside for a while, this is the worst part. For an average middle class family like many of us, this shows up as a relentless hidden tax. Cost of air purifiers in every room, frequent doctor visit and inhalers for kids, lower energy levels, missed opportunities and higher insurance premiums. You pay it every single day, even though it never appears. Turn on any business news channel right now. They're all talking about tariffs hitting our exports and maybe a 0.5 to 1% dip in our GDP. Government officers are in full panic mode and diplomats, they're traveling non-stop to Washington. The news is full of these outside problems that could take away less than 1% of our economy in the worst case scenario. But just days ago at Davos 2026, Geeta Gopinath, a Harvard professor and former IMF chief economist, delivered a reality check.
Pollution is a challenge in India, and if you look at the impact of pollution on the Indian economy, it is far more consequential than any impact of any tariffs that have been put on India so far. If you look at the annual cost to India's GDP.
Tariffs potential hit of less than 1% GDP and pollution up to 9.5% of GDP is lost annually, which is 9 to 10 times larger than any tariff impact on India. We are mobilizing national resources, diplomatic firepower, policy tweaks, and headlines to defend against a fraction of a percent. It's like a family argument over a 500 phone bill while their house burns down from electrical fire they refuse to acknowledge. The irony cuts deeper. We launch campaigns like Make in India and China Plus One to attract global capital. We promise world-class infrastructure, tax breaks, and skilled labor. But when CEOs Google air quality and see dangerous levels day after day, the deal dies quietly. Pollution is scaring them away because breathing here shortens life. This isn't mismanagement. This is a tragic, self-inflicted misallocation of nation's focus. We fight these small external battles publicly, while the internal war for clean air is surrendered in silence. So, what's your escape plan? Move to south to Bangalore or Hyderabad, or head to hills in Meghalaya or Himachal? Well, the bad news is there is nowhere left to run. Pollution has gone pan-India. Even clean air destinations are now recording unhealthy spikes seasonally. The red zones on the map are expanding like a virus. And how is our government responding to this national scale emergency? Too often with gimmicks instead of grit. Smoke towers costing anywhere between 20 to 25 crore each that clean the air in a tiny 100-meter radius if they work at all. Sprinkling water in roads for temporary dust suppression gone in hours. These aren't solutions, they are headline management. It's like treating stage 4 cancer with a bandage and hope no one notices. But here is the truth we must hold on. This is fixable. Other nations have done it. Beijing in 2013 was worse than Delhi. Thick, choking smog for months. But today, blue skies with aggressive policy, shutting down coal plants near cities, massive renewable push, strict emission enforcement, and public transport revolution. London fixed its Great Smog in 1952 with the Clean Air Act. America, China, and UK and so many countries have reduced their pollution through aggressive policy. And even India can fix this. We already have tools to fix this. National Clean Air Program, Graded Response Action Plan, Ujjwala for cleaner cooking, give incentives and renewable energy targets. But the missing part is relentless implementation. Enforcement without loopholes, funding without cuts, and accountability without any excuses. Our government should prioritize lives over lobbies and health over optics. We chase 5 trillion economy, but what is the point of 5 trillion economy if we need oxygen concentrators to breathe it? If children grow up with lungs as damaged as those of lifelong smokers, if growth comes at the cost of breath. So stop settling for subsidies on air purifiers. Demand policy purifiers, real enforceable clean air standards, investment in mass public transport, green energy, and industrial scrubbers. The next time a leader speaks about growth rates, trade deals, and global rankings, ask them the hard question. What about the 9.5% GDP we are losing every year due to pollution? Why mobilize against tariffs that will cost just pennies while millions are suffering from pollution? Wake up, demand better, and act together. Citizens, government, and industry. Because if we don't fix this now, we may reach a point where we can't breathe at all.